Hi, welcome to Aimee Nolte Music. Today we're talking about 3 very crazy parts of music. Also, they're parts of science. You can call me Mr. Wizard if you want. So the first thing I'm going to demonstrate is a fun trick that you can do with your friends all day. Never gets old. Ella and I are going to demonstrate for you. And what you can do is kind of imagine that Ella and I, maybe Ella and I are standing next to each other and we're holding the end of a jump rope. And 2 other people are holding the other ends of the jump rope and we're doing like this. We're waving it up and down. And Ella and I are doing it at the exact same time. So can you imagine that there's a wave on the jump rope? And so we're going to imagine that that's a wave of sound. And what if I go slightly faster than Ella? I can't really do that. We're the same, and then this one's just slightly faster, just a little bit. What if that happens? Then the waves get off, right? And instead of being here, rolling with the homies, it's here, right? It might be here, actually, or just barely get off, and you can hear it. So when 2 notes are exactly in tune, and you can hear it so well if you get your friend and the 2 of you just sing right at each other, especially if you're in like a room with really good acoustics, like a bathroom or something. You never know. And then the notes are really ringy, and as you sing them right at each other, you hear this wave. You can hear it if it's really nicely in tune. Now, as soon as somebody goes slightly sharp or slightly flat, the waves begin to be like this, and you can hear that happen, because instead of hearing a kind of it's almost like a shift in volume where you hear that wave, instead of that, it becomes almost like a something like that. And Ella and I are going to demonstrate for you so that you can see about it. Not yet. I have my helpful daughter here. Do you guys remember Ella from the Dice for Pianing video? She's back. She's helping me illustrate a point. Ella? Ooh. Yes, that's right. Can you sing an A right at me? All right. Are you ready? We're going to get close to the camera. She's taller than me, do you see? 6'1" right here. No, you got it. That's okay. Okay, ready? Ella is going to hold the A, and she's going to stay steady on the A. And first, I'm going to match her, then I'm going to go above it, and then I'm going to match, and then I'm going to go below it. Okay, here we go. Just like that. Okay. Did you hear? So as we're singing together, you can hear this wave going through our singing, a nice slow wave. And as I go higher and lower, the wave goes and it turns into beats, like, try one more time. Tickles in your face?
Not really.
You just thought it was funny,
yeah.
In general. There you go. Thanks for demonstrating, Ella.
You're welcome. Anytime, YouTube.
She's the best. It also works with your instruments. If you want to take your saxophones or your clarinets or something and you play the same note as somebody and then just loosen your armature a little bit or tighten it, the same thing will happen. You might even hear it stronger with an instrument depending on where you're at. Super fun. I love it. It's science. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the overtone series. Now, do you know that if you take like a vacuum tube and you do like this with it, like all kinds of motions today, it'll make a sound, right? Whatever, whatever length the tube is, it's gonna make a sound. If you were to clip it shorter, it would make a higher sound. If you had it longer, it would make a lower sound. And as you whip it around like this, it'll start to sing to you, like, ooh, right? And as you go faster, have you noticed it'll change pitch? But it doesn't just change any pitch. It follows the overtone series. The overtone series is this amazing phenomenon where as the speed of something increases by half the amount or twice the amount, the note jumps, and it will always jump the same amount. So if I'm swinging it around and it's a ooh, and then I get to twice as fast, it'll ooh, ooh, it'll jump to the fifth. And then if I go twice as fast again, it'll jump the octave. Ooh, and then twice as fast again, we'll get a third above that. I can't really sing it. And then a fifth, and then a dominant seventh, all the way up. Those are just the notes. Now it's the same if you play a brass instrument. You know how somebody can play do 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 on a bugle, and there's no buttons. It's because of the overtone series. The length of that bugle never changes, but when you double the vibrations that are coming out of your lips, so instead of being really slow and, you know, you make it something like that. That was attractive. It raises the pitch, and always from the 1 to the 5 to the octave to the third to the fifth to the flat 7 to the 9, and so on, and it keeps going. Do you know that the human voice can also do this kind of thing? And there are people on YouTube that can do it so much better than me. It's not hard to find. If you just type in the search bar overtone singing, you go down a really fun rabbit hole on YouTube. But I've been working on it for a few years, and I can do it well enough to demonstrate. So to me, when I practice my overtone singing, I like to pick a note that's kind of in my head voice, but low in my range. So maybe like somewhere between F, G, A flat, somewhere right in there. And I'll sing it, woo, and then all I do is I kind of change the shape of my mouth, same as you would if you were whistling. So, you know, if you whistle, I haven't ever been like formally trained in this or anything, but that's how I can make the sound. So it's kind of like you just make room in your mouth, and then you just adjust your tongue like you would if you were whistling. So here we go. Let's see if we can hear the fifth. Can you hear it? And it almost is like I'm whistling. And you get two notes at the same time, the one that I'm singing and the next note in the overtone series. Now, if I adjust a little bit more, make my mouth like a little shallower, I'll get the octave. Could you hear it? And then if I do it again, I can get the third. Let's try. Did you hear it? It helps if I'm a little more nasally to get the higher ones. Let me try again. I think I also flare my nostrils. Let me lower my pitch just a little bit, and I'm going to try to get the fifth and the flat 7. Could you hear it? I'm not very good at it. Let me try again. I definitely got the fifth and barely the 7th. Let me try it on another note. Let me see if I can do a little bit better if I shift to my chest voice. So instead of going ooh, I'm gonna go ooh. Let's see if that's any better. Oh yeah, I missed one. There's an octave up there too. So it'll go, I don't know if you heard it, but it's the flat 7 and then the next octave and then the 9. Cool, right? You can see that I kind of smile as well to get those higher notes. You just kind of have to mess around with it. It's fun. Don't do it in front of people. I would never recommend that, ever. Nice, Aimee. You're on YouTube. Just this once. The next thing I want to talk about is, did you know that the acoustics in rooms often are tuned to a note? And it just has to do with the way that the room is built and the materials around. Usually if there's tile or marble or rock or something, the sound will echo a little more. And every room pretty much has a note that will resonate when you sing it. Okay, the best place for this in my house happens to be my back porch. So I'm gonna show you the note, all right? I'll show you a few notes that are not it, and then I'll show you the note that is it. Do you hear it? Can you hear the resonance? It only happens on that note. It's a great place to practice being in tune, actually. I think it's between a B and a B flat. So it's like actually a quarter tone that the porch happens to be tuned to. And I love it. Oftentimes when I'm walking through here, I'll just and maybe I ask my whole family to do it with me, and then it's 6 times as loud. I'm not a scientist or anything, so I'm sure there are a bajillion, see, I don't even know my numbers, people who can explain this better than I can, but I just think it's fun. All of this stuff, super fun. All right, this has been your after school special with Aimee, talking about music and science, and I hope you had a good time, and I hope you try these things. Go in your bathroom, your porch, anywhere that has like a nice tile, and figure out the notes that every room in your house is tuned to. Find your best friend, sing in each other's face. It's awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on Aimee Nolte Music.